What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And I know I figured with Equalizer 3 right around the corner hitting theaters, it's about time after, let me see, about 3 years since I picked these up. About time to finally dive in and check out the franchise starring one Mr. Denzel Washington. Now, first off, Equalizer on 4K, Steelbook, of course. Gotta get the Steelbook. Got that one, and Equalizer 2, also 4K Steelbook. Now, like I said, I picked those up on sale a few years ago, I think on Black Friday. I think they were like 10 bucks. You couldn't beat the price. But what did I think about these films? Well, first off, the first film, I think, runs about a little over 2 hours. And Denzel, obviously, he's fantastic. Always fantastic. Never disappoints. The first 40 minutes, I was kind of like, 45 minutes, I was kind of like on the fence. I wasn't quite too sure about how I was going to feel overall about this particular film. Now, granted, I know it has to build up the character. Who is this character of Robert McCall, the character played by Denzel Washington? And it does. It's a slow build, I think, for those 45 minutes. Like I said, you're really getting an idea of who this character is, how systematic he is about the things that he does. He works at basically like a Home Depot. It's not Home Depot. I think it's like Home Mart or something like that they call it. And, you know, he goes to the diner late at night. Every single night goes to this little diner. It's like about like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. He always goes to this diner. Gets himself a cup of tea, but everything is like systematic. He brings his own tea bag, everything. And it kind of goes like this for the first 40, 45 minutes. He meets, you know, this particular girl there at the diner, and this girl is a escort, basically, but she's in some trouble. She's a young girl, she's in some trouble, and he takes it upon himself to want to help this girl and bring down this basically Russian mafia. And this is when things start heating up. After you get past the first 40, 45 minutes, you get a chance to, you know, introduce these characters, things really, and I'm talking really, get nuts. I didn't think Denzel could get that crazy in a film with the kills. Holy crap. This thing, I couldn't believe some of the kills that he was able to pull out. Like, there was, obviously this film came out a few years ago, so if you're listening to this video and you haven't watched them like myself, you know, you might get a little bit spoiled by what I'm about to say, but there is one scene where he just goes up to behind this guy with a drill, and he just presses the drill behind the guy's head. All of a sudden, he just turns the drill on. And yeah, you can imagine what happens. So it's just, there's a lot of ass kicking done by Denzel in this film. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, first half is kind of slow build. Second half just goes off the rails, and there's so much action. It's a really, really good film, and it's definitely one that's worth checking out. Really enjoyed it. And he, like I said, Denzel, his acting is just phenomenal. The man is always just at a high level. He never phones it in. Even on a film that may be so-so, he never phones it in. And this one is just, he just levels up. That brings me to Equalizer 2, because you thought the kills couldn't get any crazier. Well, he outdoes himself in Equalizer 2. This one, basically, a friend of his, I'm not going to spoil things, but a friend of his, unfortunately, is murdered, and it's up to him to figure out why this happened, who's responsible for this, and take down the bad guys. And this one, I was able to kind of pretty much pick out within like first, it's about 2 hours long, this film, so it's a little bit less than the first film, but I was able to figure out within the first 10-15 minutes, you know, who the big baddie was, who the main baddie was in the film. But it did not diminish and take away from this film. This film was great. I enjoyed this one, I think, more than the first film. I think both films have some great kills. The acting is phenomenal from Denzel in both films. And especially in the beginning of the second one. The second one, just the way it starts off, like on this train, heading towards Turkey, it's great. It's a really great introduction. Once again, reintroducing everybody to this character. And I enjoyed it. And it picks up, most of the film takes place, for the most part, like the second half, like in the Boston area. And there is, like, when you start getting towards probably the last half hour or so of the film, like this huge storm going on. and it added to the atmosphere and the build to the climax of the film. It added, because the things that are happening within the environment now with this huge rainstorm, it's kind of like aiding him in his attempts to take down the villains of the film. So yeah, I highly recommend both of these films. And like I said, I really, after seeing the trailer for the third film, I knew I had to go and dive in and finally check these films out. And they did not disappoint. I really enjoyed them. And like I said, the first one starts off a little bit slow, but builds up. I think the second one is a little bit better film because it goes right, it does not pull any punches. It goes right into it. Does not miss a beat. And I really enjoyed both films. Like I said, the second one just a little bit more than the first one. I think the first one got you started where we're going, and I can't wait for the third one, because if it goes up from the first film to the second film, where's the third film gonna go? I really enjoyed it a lot. So, like, subscribe, and comment if you get a chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.